What is going on, guys? Fighting Game Select is here. We are back again to talk about some Street Fighter action. And we are here today with the individual that is officially qualified for Capcom Cup. iDom, what's good, bro?
What's up? How's everyone doing?
I'm sure you're doing as good as we are. Finally hitting. Man, how many years has it been? I just want to ask.
Well, actually, the first year of Street Fighter 6 was actually the last time I haven't qualified for Capcom Cup, but I had a pretty good streak going, but it ended when Street Fighter 6 first came out. But now I got to make a new streak.
Oh, so season 2 beyond, you just gonna be
Yeah.
Capcom? Yeah, better watch out, man. Somebody in the Capcom office probably gonna hear that and be like, "Yo, let's change the rules up just so we can make it a little bit more quote unquote exciting for the viewers." And like, man, I want to ask, and I'm sure a lot of people are curious of how this happened. It's like, what did you practice specifically for this tournament?
Going into the regional final, I didn't really practice too much. Like I knew what I was going to be playing against. Like I was kind of just like expecting to play against like Safe and Boot. Like my path was gonna be mostly Ken and like Luke and Akuma. So like you can only practice so much. So I was just like, let me just play with like no type of stress on my mind and no kind of like worries, because like I was playing kind of carefree, I feel like. So that kind of gave me the edge versus a lot of the competition. I feel like people were stressed out to try to almost not make Capcom Cup, but I was just kind of playing in a very carefree kind of way.
Like, I have a group of favorite players that I like enjoy watching just because of what they bring to the game. And like one of those players that has been really catching my eye, that I've just been very enjoyable, and like I'm honestly probably a big fan of now, is Safe. You mentioned him. I think, man, Safe is so good. He's such a talented player, and he's very, very sound. It's unbelievably crazy how much of a sound player he is, just being in the type of environment of the of games that we live
Yeah.
in. It just shows how much East Coast is crazy,
It,
especially coming from you saying like, I was just chilling. I already knew
it,
who I was playing.
it's funny. Safe was really good in Street Fighter 5. He got to a few of the grand finals in the online tournaments. I don't think he traveled too much offline, but he got into a few of the grand final on the Street Fighter 5 East Coast like online brackets. So I always knew Safe was like a really strong player.
So for me, I knew that during the pandemic, I wasn't really following Street Fighter 5 much in terms of like the players, you know what I mean? Because it was like the
Yeah.
pandemic, and that's when we was all grinding like YouTube and things like that. And
Yeah.
I was focusing on like Guilty Gear Strive and like branding out and doing like so many things. So to be honest with you, I underlooked him in Street Fighter 5, but like Street Fighter 6, I instantly was just like, this dude is insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was able to pick that up real quick. So to kind of see that kind of Street Fighter 6, the way the neutral is kind of tamed in some ways, really shows how dominant he is in the mid range.
Yeah, his Urian was like that. He had like one of the best Urians in my opinion.
Damn, just the underdog, huh? Just the pandemic just held him back, huh?
Yeah, actually, kind of. That pandemic was getting to everyone. I'm telling you, there was so many. I feel like there's so many. I call it like COVID kids, but there's like so many great players that were just like hindered by the pandemic, and like they were kind of just locked by online, and that's all they really had.
Well, let me ask you this, man. What does it take winning with a non-high tier character? Like, what is your mind? Like, it can't just be like, I'm just playing for fun. After this, I'm gonna go to the bodega, just chill with my homie. Like, there has to be some type of activation in the head. Like, oh man, like I gotta play like this.
Um, so I will be honest. Like, I in the first season, I felt like Manon was really bad, and this season, I feel like she's okay. But like, I don't know. I've always said this. Or like Manon. Okay, Manon's easily the worst character I've probably played in any fighting game I've ever played. But I think playing a low tier character gives you a different perspective, or maybe different outlooks on how to play the game. So I think it's a bit more eye opening, and you can see more things about the game than somebody who's playing like a really good character, or like you can see other ways to try to open your opponent up are different ways to kind of approach the game because of tools that your character is lacking. So while I do think Manon's not like that bad this season compared to last, I do think she has also helped me kind of see the game in like a different kind of way a bit. When I play Manon, obviously I don't have low forward drive rush. I can't just drive rush around the screen because I can't. But when like ways to kind of approach my opponent, like use more buttonsy, be more buttonsy, really use my lights to kind of approach, walk my opponent to the corner. Like I feel like I've kind of realized this from watching like Punk and Do play a lot as well. But using lights to kind of just gain screen space because your opponent's just walking back are like they're kind of scared to kind of walk forward gives me like insane advantage that people don't usually do when I play in Street Fighter 6 unless I'm playing like a lot of the really strong players.
I feel like you have to be very good at that good thing particular. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And you have to learn how to like be okay with that good not always being super effective. You know, so I feel like it opens up a lot of like layers in your mind. Like, oh, okay, like I acknowledge like this is not like the best scenario, but I can implement this in that scenario a bit better. But you know, worst case scenario, like I spend this resources, but I can still play the neutral, and I could be in this good range. Like I feel like there's a lot of like variations of like thinking like that, you know?
Yeah, you get to open your third eye a bit. Your fighting game third eye.
What about this, man? Are you thinking about picking a secondary character up for Capcom Cup? Now you're officially in.
Unless Mai gives me, unless Mai's like a cool character, someone I could use, but I doubt she'll be out for Capcom Cup. But not really. I feel like I got this far with Manon. I'll be all right. But that was kind of how it was in season 1 with like JP. But even like when I was playing JP, I was just like, I wasn't really gelling with JP, so I just kind of played Manon still. So I think I'll be all right with Manon. I feel like a couple of command grabs and then I win, right?
Couple of just a tad bit of command grabs.
Yeah, I just gotta get to Metal 4.
It's crazy that like a simple like mechanic or like a simple move could be so effective as like as more as you do it. You know what I mean? Like I've never seen like a move like that. You know, you talked a little bit about how does it feel, but like man, like what was the relief at the moment the tournament was like over? You hit stream end. You got off your chair. What was that feeling when you was like, man, I finally am back? What was that? What was that thought?
It's just different because like I was in plenty of Capcom Cups for like Street Fighter 5, so like that was like a long time ago. But you know, being this is for my first Capcom Cup in Street Fighter 6, and you know, actually getting a chance to play for the million is such a relief. And like even like as soon as I got like the final hit or like the final anti-air to kind of close out the game, it's just like a sigh of relief, kind of like finally I'm back to my standard, because like everyone has like standards for themselves, but this is kind of the standard that I have for myself. Like I feel like there's no reason I should not be in Capcom Cup. I felt like that last year, and kind of being able to reach that goal kind of was a huge relief, and being able to be like the trash trolls talking shit online, finally having to shut up because I made it back to where I was trying to be.
And I'm glad you called out all the people who was talking all that, because now it's crazy. They were talking and they never made it to Capcom Cup. They still talking and you still made it to Capcom Cup. So I'm like, yo, these dudes that got the most to say, like, man, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So like,
yeah,
it's always funny, like, it's the fans, man. People always got like they have their favorite players and stuff, and I think that's really good, man. I think it's healthy and to a certain extent, you know what I'm saying? But now that they got it, now that you got it, and yet they still haven't made Capcom Cup, it really just shows. I mean, hey, man, like no matter what format it is, you're gonna find a way. You're gonna break a path.
I don't mind people having their favorite players, but like, I don't know. Talking to players is kind of where it's like, okay, bro, unless you're here, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I said to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like, you could be like, I want to root for this guy because I like this guy. blah 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 blah. But like, when they're talking about like, yo, man, you're never making it to Capcom Cup again, as they never entered a
Yeah.
format in their entire life, and if they did, not even noticeable, not even rememberable.
Yeah, no one even heard of you.
Yeah, who? You know what I'm saying? So now that you're in Capcom Cup, you're chilling right now. What's next?
I mean, I got some time before Capcom Cup.
I mean, you're going back to Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. To be fair, I'm just trying to beat all the games. Now that I'm actually in Capcom Cup, I'm trying to beat all the games that I haven't been playing because I was trying to get into Capcom Cup. I got free time. I feel like
Damn.
I'll kind of like hunker down and probably train. That's how I played in Capcom Cup 2019. Like I got into Capcom Cup, but then like I don't want to say I crammed the last Capcom Cup, but like the last month before Capcom Cup is where I was training so much. But now like Capcom Cup's not until March, so I got December and January really to kind of just
Hey,
beat all the other games that I got now.
you got Thanksgiving too, bro.
Yeah.
You eat it good. You get the stuffings, the turkey.
Yeah.
You can eat all of the
I-
protein, all of
I'm
that.
chilling. I'm chilling
Yeah,
right
so
now.
you was out here dominating Strive. I seen you was winning NLBC for Strive and Street
Uh,
Fighter, bro. It's
yeah.
just been consistently enjoyment after that.
Yeah, it's less stress. I'm telling you. I'm not even thinking about Capcom Cup right now. So now it's just like, oh, I'm going somewhere and I'm just gonna play. If I lose, is whatever. So I feel like when you play with less stress on your mind, you always play better.
I 100% agree. And like with all the stress, it really brings the worst out of every player.
Yeah.
Because stress, fear has a very strong emotion over a lot of scenarios. Whether somebody tell you that they're not afraid or not, there is some fear in it.
hmm
You just got to bring it out of them, and like when you bring it out, you'll see the performance all over the place. With that being said, man, is there anything particular that you want to give a shout out to before we wrap this video up?
Shout outs to my stream for believing in me. Without my stream monsters all being there and all cheering for me, I don't think I would have been able to get into Capcom Cup. So I appreciate everyone watching. My streams, my YouTube videos, all that good stuff.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm happy you got into YouTube. I'm happy that the homies are holding it down, being like, yeah, man, we know you got this. We know you're gonna cook, blah 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 blah. All the good positive stuff, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. So I'm very happy to hear. Where can they find you?
Follow me Twitch iDom NY and YouTube iDom FGC.
Yeah, and with that being said, make sure you guys support the channel for iDom and also Fighting Game Select. We'll be doing great things. Make sure you guys leave a like so the algorithm can increase and we can do more cool stuff like this. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.